Welcome back to another Magi Monday. My name is Andrea Blythe, and I am the traveling Magi of Let Love Rise. And I am just coming back from these amazing travels in South America, where I got to deliver a soul roadmap workshop in Colombia. And so I'm bringing some of the island feel, the vibes back with me, even though I wasn't really on an island. It felt like a deserted island. And, anyways, we are here to talk about week 9 of summer, which brings us to the Nine of Clubs, the card of universal knowledge, the universal giver of knowledge. Now, before we dive into the specifics of this card and the birthdays, there are many of them. I want to welcome anybody new to understanding that this is the secret mysteries embedded into a deck of playing cards, which is known as the Magi Card Science System. So if you think about, we have 52 weeks in a year and there are 52 cards in a deck, right? We have four suits of a deck of playing cards and we have four seasons. So really if you stick with me through this summer, and through the entire year, you will see how each and every card carries a slightly different energetic signature based on three things. The numerology. So, again, we're going to talk about 9, that number of endings, the universal number. It is based on the symbology, which is, in this case, we're talking about the clubs. The entire summer season is the season of the clubs, which is the pursuit of knowledge. It is all about the mind. It is about communication and intuition and certainly the desire to learn. Our clubs are lifelong learners. And then the third aspect of this Magi card science system is the astrology. The astrology is how we read through how certain cards show up in your soul roadmap and how there's a difference between if something shows up in your Venus period, which is a very beautiful energy, a benefic of the universe, versus say your Pluto card, which very much like it is in astrology, your Pluto card is here to transform you. So typically your Pluto card is here to teach you some valuable lessons and doesn't quite feel as good as your Venus card. And we have soul roadmaps for our life. And then, most importantly, one of the things that I love to do is help people see their soul roadmap for their year. And it's based on the solar energy of your birthday. Okay. So it's scientifically calculated. So it's kind of where science meets spirituality, all embedded in a deck of cards. And just one more thing, there happen to be 13 weeks per season. Summer, season is what we're talking about here. And within those 13 weeks, there are also 13 cards per suit. So here we are at week 9 of summer season to talk about this card known as the universal giver of knowledge. So all nines, whether you're a 9 of hearts, 9 of clubs, 9 of diamonds, 9 of spades, these are the universal givers. They have something to share with the world. But part of their soul essence requires that first that they meet their soul task of letting go. There is a major cycle in their soul's development. So there's a completion of some kind because nines represent endings. They represent letting go. It is a big release. And I was just going to say the giant toilet flush, right? It's like, got to let that shit go. And that's what nines do. They indicate in your soul roadmap where you are going to be experiencing an ending. And what I know now is that when we adhere to the ending, when we allow the ending to take place and we let whatever goes to go, that is the only way that we can joyfully make room for the new beginning. Because right on the other side of the 9 is the 1, the new beginning. Excuse me while I take a sip. So nines are completions. And with this card of the mind, it can be completions of letting go of old stories, of old patterns of thinking, of for sure limiting beliefs. And again, depending on where and how this card shows up in your personal roadmap, will give further information about how the card is playing out for you personally, how you can sync up with the energy to assist you in identifying and really thinking back, oh, well, what do I need to let go of? Or what is this pointing me towards? And am I willing to allow the ending to take place so that something new can come in? It's kind of like leveling up. You just leveling up, but you have to do the cleansing first. And I think about, we're coming up on some eclipses here in September of 2025, and it's very much the energy of an eclipse. There is often a removal and ending, a completion, something that is like done and outdated and has to go. So that's what nines do. And this is of the mind. What are the stories that are on replay here? What are the limiting beliefs that we carried that are no longer serving us? Let it go. Let it go. And so I want to share a little bit more about the Nine of Clubs, but first let's dive into the birthdays so that you can identify anybody in your life who's near and dear to you that might share the birthday. I will also, as always, put the birthdays in the description. And I do want to remind you that there are birth cards, and all of us, except for our special Leos, have a planetary ruling card as well. Scorpios have two planetary ruling cards. It's all based on the zodiac. Um, so even if somebody's first energy, their birth card isn't the Nine of Clubs, they could still have a Nine of Clubs as their secondary energy, or what we refer to as their planetary ruling card. So that being said, we have got birthdays all the way through the year of this Nine of Clubs, and it starts in January, January 31st. Notice the pattern. February 29th. Those of you who are lucky enough to have an actual birthday on February 29th, all the leap year babies, Nine of Clubs. Okay, so 31, 29. March 27th, April 25th, May 23rd, June 21st, July 19th. Do you see how these are going down two cards at a time, or two dates? Two, the pattern is two. July 19th, August 17th. Yesterday, I'm filming this Magi Monday on Monday. And so yesterday was a Nine of Clubs day. September 15th, October 13th, November 11th, and December 9th. These are all those who are born with the Nine of Clubs energy signature. So again, these are the universal knowledge cards. They are here to really, once they clear that the major cycle of their soul's development and recognize what is not serving them, they are really gifted to share with the world the knowledge that they've learned. Everybody who is a nine, it is one of the two spiritual cards in the deck, the other one being sevens. So sevens and nines, wherever those show up in your roadmap, you know that you are coming into a spiritual time. There is something for you. And when I say you're coming into a spiritual time, it could look really beautiful, like a meditating Buddha. However, in my experience, those spiritual times often look more like the fetal position where I'm crying and rocking myself to sleep, because it's sometimes those are the lessons, right? The harder the lesson, the more apparent perhaps like what we are meant to learn from it, and or the more that we seek, like, this was so bad, or this ending or whatever was so rough, there has got to be something, a greater lesson for me. So what is it? And so just knowing where you have nines, always paying attention to your nines in your roadmap, are just super helpful to identify, okay, there's going to be something. And we can't always see what it is. We can just see that the period is coming. And sometimes you might have a nine as a year-long influence. And so it's kind of like 2025 is the year of the snake. It is a year of releasing and letting go, right? So sometimes we have those years personally, and that's where the benefit of the soul roadmap comes in. It can indicate that you are having a major completion, a year of major completion. And I guarantee that if you allow the completion to take place, that you will Just feel greater ease and comfort and flow and enjoyment. Because I have been one who have tried the resistant journey, and I'll tell you what, what we resist persists, and we really do cause our own suffering. So this system is something that I believe helps us all understand what we have, what our soul, how our soul is evolving, and what energies we can sync up with. So, one thing that is really important to know about the Nine of Clubs person, and this might get a little personal, y'all, but this is also considered a card of sexual enjoyment. So you might be like, what? How does nine, the ending or the universal card, and clubs, the suit of the mind, and our thoughts and our beliefs and our communication, our intuition, learning, what does that have to do with sex? Well, it is more about the roadmap of the Nine of Clubs person. The roadmap has some very powerful positions with heart cards in them. The first one being its very first karma card is the Queen of Hearts. And Queen of Hearts, you can go back to week 12 of spring season, and you'll see the Queen of Hearts is known as the card of sexual enjoyment, this beautiful queen. And the Queen of Hearts being the first karma card in this lifetime, there are some debts that are being paid to the energy of the Queen of Hearts, to this master of love through service, the mothering card. So it can either be towards people who have the energy of the Queen of Hearts, and or to the idea of the queen, which is a lot has to do with our sexual pleasure and owning, right? Like our fullness as human beings. So there's that card is the first card to notice in their lifetime soul roadmap. And also in the Venus position, which again represents love and beauty and creativity and is just like goodness and goodness. They have the Two of Hearts. And the Two of Hearts, again, you can look back to week 2, the very second video that I posted in this series. And that is the card of the union of love. And so the union in love in the Venus position really speaks to how these people are often in quest of the ideal lover, right? They're just looking for this perfect, beautiful union that it can be represented by that. There's other cards in Mars. They've got the King of Hearts. That's the master of love. And Mars is our passion, right? And our fire. And I mean, passion can be sexual in nature. It can also be in terms of work. So it's also the card of emotional mastery and a real healing card, healing through love card. But that's another powerful heart position. And then in Saturn. Saturn is the great teacher, and Saturn's energy isn't always, well, I am learning to see my Saturn, to see Saturn differently because, all great teachers really just want to improve upon your soul evolution and they want to help you and assist you. And in this position, the sixes are the great karmic card. So you have a karmic card in a karmic position because Saturn is very much associated, is called often the Lord of Karma. It's very like fatherly energy and it's very much like you're being called to the principal's office kind of stuff where, and the Six of Hearts again, so all the hearts that I've mentioned, the two, the six, the King and the Queen of Hearts, you can go back and watch those videos if you'd like to know more about those specific energies. But this is the karmic card of love. It's gonna quickly balance things out if you are not being responsible with how you love others. It's gonna quickly come back to you. That's how the karma works. And then also if you are very responsible with your love energy and how you treat other people, you're just experience just like a nice status quo. That is also associated, very peaceful time with the Six of Hearts. But this is just the power of one particular card that you might look at and not necessarily think that this is a card that includes so much sexual enjoyment. But as you can see, understanding a lifetime roadmap is really beneficial. Now, often when I'm on the show, I often have people who are looking at their roadmaps to see if they have a card in any prominent positions. And as I was saying, dun, 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 you can have it in a powerful life position for you. And I happen to have that. And I'm not life position. I'm sorry, I'm multitasking behind the scenes, behind the aloha scenes here. And I'm looking at my roadmap for this year, and I have the Nine of Clubs as my Pluto card. So, as my Pluto card, it can be a very uplifting and fulfilling thing, or it can be fraught with disappointment and painful endings. So, again, it depends on how you're playing your cards. And are you really looking to the universal, like the bigger picture of universal truth and knowledge and understanding? Or are you limiting yourself and enclosing yourself in your own patterns and stories that keep you limited? So for me, it can be a challenging year for me to let go of outworn concepts, ideas, ways of thinking, ways of communicating. And I love when I do readings for people to share affirmations. So, my affirmation for the Nine of Clubs Pluto card, and this is something that I will get to ponder all year long, all year long, is I'm letting go of limiting concepts and ways of communicating and adopting more universal thinking. So, this card is very powerful in my roadmap. It wants to transform me. I have clearly got some cleaning of my mental house to do, and I've already begun the work. I can see it, and I am allowing, right? I am allowing this year to allow the completions to take place. And here's the cool thing when you have it in a position like Pluto, is that when you do the work, there's a card associated with all of our Pluto cards called the reward card. And my so you get a reward for doing the hard work. And for me, that is going to be the card of communication, the Two of Clubs. Again, you can go back and listen to the Two of Clubs recorded a couple of weeks ago. So these are just a little bit of the insights that we can see from what? That's right, playing cards. Playing cards are so much more than we have thought them to be. I mean, super fun for pastimes. I always like to carry around a deck of cards in my purse. So, waiting in line, waiting anywhere, you can play some fun games, and you can also read the mystical wisdom of everybody around you once you know their birthday. So, when is your birthday? And what are the questions that you have about your soul roadmap? If you would like to learn more, there is also a link in the description where you can sign up or apply for a soul roadmap clarity call with me, just to come on and ask a few questions, learn a little bit more about the system and how it might apply to you. And or there's also a link in there if you're like, I want to know more, you can get a reading from me. That link is also included, and I can tell you all about the big questions that you have. We can look at this ancient wisdom for guidance and help us to really align with the energies of the universe so that we can live a life of joy and fulfillment. Truly, the universe is for you. The universe wants to see you not survive, but thrive. And this system from the Atlanteans, practiced in the temples of Egypt, and now being brought back into the light of the day after spending millennia in secrecy, is here to guide you and to assist you. So if you have some big questions and can use some mystical guidance, please, please, please reach out. Either sign up for a clarity call or just sign up for a soul roadmap, and it would be my joy and honor to be your guide, to be your Galinda, the Good Witch of the North. Long story on that. Yeah. Is there anything else I wanted to say? So many great actors. Oh my gosh, I'm just going to read some lists of people with the Nine of Clubs birthday. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Leo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Tommy Lee Jones, Renee Zellweger. I was like, are they all male? What's going on here? Oh, the author Mitch Albom. That's nice. Ella Fitzgerald, Justin Timberlake, Demi Moore. and Al Gore. Those are just a few of the celebrity Nine of Clubs birthdays. So look for the Nine of Clubs in your roadmap. See where you are being asked to let go of limiting patterns, stories, beliefs, so that you can embrace the new, more aligned energy. And congratulations, you've received an upgrade. Thank you so much for listening. As always, please, if this resonated with you, or if you have a friend who is of the Nine of Clubs birthdays, please share this wisdom with them. It is part of my soul purpose mission to be a part of the team of light workers who are sharing this mystical knowledge and putting it into your hands so that you can know yourself better. You can know everybody around you better. And if you'd like to learn more, I recommend the books by my teacher, Robert Lee Camp. There it is. Love Cards is an excellent resource. You can also get Cards of Your Destiny. Visit seventhunders.com if you'd like to know more, or Traveling Magi of Let Love Rise and grab your soul roadmap. And I would be just honored to continue this journey with you. All right, here we go. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you enjoyed the beachy background. And I am going to be back next week with a special guest and a very special card, my first karma card, the Ten of Clubs, that teacher's card. See you next week. Thanks for listening. Ciao for now. Bye.